welcome to the Community Guru podcast. My name is Udal Polino. Today I have a special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, Rahul Lal, NBA Live writer.
Nice to meet you today. So I'm gonna get right into it. First, when did you first get into journalism?
So it's actually kind of a funny story because I never thought that I would be a journalist at all. I went to St. John's University in Queens, New York, and I was studying sports management and business together. And I kind of knew that I wanted to work in the sports world, one way or another. And so my next step was, okay, let me figure out how I can get some sort of a sports internship or something like that. And it just so happened to be that the one that I was able to land with a very small professional lacrosse team, which I know nothing about that sport, but I wanted to work in sports, and that happened to be a media role. And from there, I just it kind of kept on going.
Yeah, so you just took the opportunity that was given to you.
Right. I mean, rather than given, I mean, I applied everywhere. For every job in sports, whether it be, on the business side, on the marketing side, on the media side. And, and at that point, I just, and I kept on cold calling and emailing everybody who I could find in this industry. And, you know, it happened to work out how it worked out. And I think that, there's a certain value to that, that you
Yeah,
don't know how it's going to work out, but if you keep on working at it, it will work out.
yeah, I get you. So, second, when and how did you first get your start at working with EA as a writer for NBA Live?
Right. So a little bit about background. I was at CBS Sports, and then I went to USA Today, and and the next step was EA Sports. And so I mean, really, I heard some rumblings about what they were trying to do, creating a new, editorial team around there, something that really, you don't really see with a lot of video game companies. And, video games being a passion of mine, the same way it is for you, the same way it is for the entire community.
Yeah,
Um, I mean that was an instant draw because it's sports, it's video games, it's two of my passions coming together in one, and obviously through my profession, which is writing. And so I actually just heard about it from a couple of people. I read about it online. I saw some open jobs, and and then I sat down with my now editor in chief, and really just heard her vision out, and I was hooked right away.
yeah, it's a cool story. Um, what do you enjoy the most about the live community?
Well, first of all, if there wasn't a live community, I wouldn't have a job. So I have to say that I'm incredibly thankful and grateful. And, I mean, I hope that they can kind of get that sense from some of the work that we're putting out where we try to showcase, the community, and we try to, give props where props are due to, different members of the community. So that's why we do things like Courts of the Week. And last year, when I started last October, so I've been there about a year now. And last year we started doing, when creative players started coming out for, NBA Live 18, we started doing showcasing different people's creative players, and so many people going in and creating legends and throwing them into their game modes and whatnot. And yeah, I mean, so I appreciate so much about the community that it's hard to really quantify it down to one. But I gotta say, just you know, the the way that they come out in flocks, the candidness, the honesty, but also just the support, and I've noticed that that support has extended outside of just the game, outside of just my personal business. That support has actually extended to me personally as a person, and so I appreciate just how there for you they are.
Yeah. Nice. When you interact with NBA players and musical artists, What does that mean to you, and how do you like handle that?
It's a dream. Um, I mean, first of all, like you're way ahead of where I was when I was younger because I see you doing the same things. You know what
I
I mean?
appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I told you, until I was 20, like I'm 23 now, and until I was 20, I had no idea that I'd be going into this world, in journalism. So one, props to you,
Thank you.
you know.
Yeah.
But as far as, I mean, it's a dream. But when I started out with CBS, that was kind of the first time that I really started interacting like that with different celebrities and stuff.
Mm.
And I also worked for radio.com, so I did album reviews, concert reviews, interviews with different artists. And I think that that was really the moment that kind of, okay, I gotta figure it out now because I'm here. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in the same room with as some of these people who I bump their music every day, or I grew up idolizing them. I love basketball and I love that player, and he's one of the reasons why I did this. So I think you have to take a certain cadence and act like you've been there type of mentality, but at the same way, you also got to show them that you appreciate them and that you know what the hard work that they're putting in. And yes, they're just normal people, but at the same time, you can still appreciate a normal person, you know,
Yeah.
for what they do on the court, off the court, in the booth, out the booth, like. And so I think that that was really humbling to me. I don't know. Did I answer your question? I'm kind of going off on a tangent here.
Nah, nah, you did. You got it perfectly. I get what you mean. Yeah. Is there anybody or like anything that inspires you or motivates you to do what you do?
It's actually this one quote. Um, when I was in college, I heard somebody say this one quote. It was, "It's not who you know, it's who knows you," and that kind of stuck with me. And so as far as how I carry myself, that's really the thing that's in the back of my head at all moments
Mm.
is it's who knows you. So it's a reputation that you carry in the way that you conduct yourself. So you have to conduct yourself in a professional manner. You have to conduct yourself to be a warm, positive energy. You have to conduct yourself to be the best you that you can be, so that when somebody asks about you, and you're not in the room, what are they going to say? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so, and as far as people, I mean, Kobe was the reason why I grew an intense love for basketball.
Hmm.
Um, and eventually, I remember I had like this blog site, kind of like what you have.
Yeah.
Um, and I had written a Kobe article on the last day of his career. It was called Dear Kobe. And that kind of went viral.
Hmm.
And that really opened up an entire world of journalism that I had never once thought about. I was just doing it as a passionate fan,
Hmm.
and that's where everything started to come from.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. And like with mine, like Steph Curry is a huge motivation to me. And then
Right.
when I met him, he was like, "Yeah, I've heard about you and I know what you do," and that was pretty cool.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's
So
got to be when
yeah,
when I'm interviewing you in a few years. That's gonna have to be the moment, huh?
yeah, yeah. That'll be dope. Who is someone you'd really like to interview or work with?
Hmm. Interview as far as I mean, I think everybody knows I have a very big passion for music and sports both, and you can tell that by this interview.
Yeah,
So, music, I have to say J. Cole.
yeah.
Uh, he also went to St. John's with me. Well, not with me. He was a few years before, but his shadow was all around that campus.
Uh,
And I think that he's just on a different level, uh, as far as his thinking goes. Um, I would love to interview Colin Kaepernick from the sport.
yeah.
I would love to interview him because I think that that man just has, a certain will to him that is incredible, and I it would be a dream interview to get the chance to do that. You know,
Yeah, I get what you're saying with that. What is your main goal with your career?
you know, I kind of stopped thinking about different goals and stuff like that, because like I said, 5 years ago, I didn't even know that journalism was something that I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Uh, it hadn't crossed my mind once. Um, 3 years ago, I didn't even know. I thought that I was just going to be a beat writer, or or just doing concert reviews. And then now here I am with the backing of an entire amazing community doing video game writing. And so thing is, like, I want to very vaguely get better at my craft, continue to follow my passion in it, but at the same time, I don't want to box myself in to a certain goal because there's so many different goals that can be achieved. There's this one movie, Stand and Deliver, which is you know before both of our time,
Mm,
but essentially it takes a group of inner city children and it shows them new opportunities because of different classes that they can take that weren't offered before,
yeah.
and that opens up an entire world of career options that they had never known before. And so I kind of think of life as that, where you know you just kind of don't know what's in front of you and what's available and what's out there for you. So if you set a goal and just go straight towards that goal, you might be missing out on something even bigger or better, you know?
Yeah, I see what you mean by saying that. So you're trying to focus on like more than one thing and being open to more opportunities than just one goal
Right,
that you have.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So, what do you enjoy the most about NBA Live 19? Like the modes or gameplay? What do you play the most?
I think I wind up playing franchise probably the most because of the fact that I'm always on the move. And if you kind of see like my social media and stuff, I'm in a different city a lot of the time, so I don't have time to sit there and grind as much as I'd like to. So the one mode that I can always fall back on is, okay, I know while all these people have been grinding and getting their their icons and everything like that.
Yeah.
Um, my player isn't up there yet.
Yeah.
I have time to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I can always fall back and just keep on building with my LeBron-led Lakers.
Ah, yeah, yeah,
You know?
yeah. What's your advice to anybody writing and trying to do what you do as a career?
I mean, honestly, just keep on pushing because if I'm being honest, there are times where you're gonna look at it and you're gonna say, this is hard. Like the opportunities sometimes just don't seem to open up. Um, and there are those moments, and I'm incredibly fortunate that they have. But you also always got to stay on your feet, and so continue to keep on working. Always reach out to other people. That quote, it's about who knows you. Um, try and reach out. I mean, I've had so many great, well-known NBA writers who I reached out to several years ago. 3, 4 years ago now, and told them, hey, I'm an aspiring writer, and now we're at the point where we're all colleagues at a certain level, and they've always looked out for me,
Mm,
whether that's helping me get different credentials or different events and interviews or whatever it may be. And so just be sure to network, keep on working on your craft, ask other people. If you need help, ask for help. you know don't let pride get in the way.
yeah. All right, that's some great advice, man. I would like to thank you for being on the podcast. I'll make sure to leave his social media links down below, and make sure you check him out. Thank you. This is Community Guru Podcast. Vidal Polino. See ya.